no,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing that. Because if I do end up investing money into making soaps and you don't buy it, then do you know what I mean? So yeah. And I think, to be honest, I feel like, especially in, for Black people, it's even harder
Black
to get.
females,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
even much harder.
What do you think
Girl,
about?
I wear my clothes every single day. Listen, life is too short. Wear your clothes.
What would you advise someone starting a skincare line in 2025?
Don't do it. I'm joking.
You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are worthy.
Hey beautiful, welcome back to the Kiya Convos podcast. I'm your host, Amoah, and this is the space for all things self-care, wellness, and empowerment. Today, our guest just oozes all of those things: self-care, wellness, empowerment. She's a super mom, boss babe. We have the gorgeous Dami. Hi, Dami.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm very well, thank you. And thanks so much for coming down. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Likewise. Scary. I'm an introvert and this is my first time doing this, just to put it out there. But yeah, let's go. I'm ready.
Not the disclaimer. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. So for anyone who are new to seeing you, let us know who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name's Dami, and I'm the founder of Àmi London, which is a skincare and wellness brand. But I wear many hats. I've done so many things in my lifetime. I ran a brick and mortar store in Shoreditch for 5 years, selling emerging fashion designers. I also do hair, make wigs, makeup. I've been a free stylist as well, many years back. But I've done so many things in my lifetime. But at the moment, I run Àmi London, which is a skincare wellness brand.
Okay, perfect. So you are a super entrepreneur.
Something like that.
Perfect. So take us right back to the beginning. So the store that you ran, that was the first venture that you had?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you get into that?
So over 7 years ago, I met someone who had just started this brand. It was a baby at the time, and he needed someone to come on to sort of do the buy-in and just kind of help the business progress.
Yeah.
Because it was right at the inception that I met him. And then we just kind of bumped heads together, and that's just kind of how I got involved and did that for about 5.5 years. We opened 2 stores. So we started off in Box Park. We had 2 stores called Utter Couture. Okay. And then we did a rebrand and changed it to not just another store. And then we moved over on the high street, and we were there for about 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But the relationship...
in total, it was about 5.5 years.
Okay. But you mentioned button heads. So is that what caused it to come to an end, or?
No, it's not what caused it to come to an end. The person that I was in business with, I was also in a relationship with.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was just kind of, time to go our separate ways. So I stepped down. I chose to step down.
Okay.
And then,
sure. Yeah. So were you always into fashion? Was that like your first passion, or was it just... this person needs help, so I'm gonna...
Yeah, from as far as I can remember, I've always wanted to be in the fashion industry. I feel like from as little as 5, like I'd always design things on a piece of paper, growing up in Nigeria, because that's where I grew up.
Okay.
And then I wanted to study fashion design at university, but my African parents were like, hell no. You're gonna go into either like a lawyer or a doctor, whatever. And so we compromised, and I said, okay, fine, I'm gonna do fashion marketing. So that's how I kind of started to pivot into the fashion industry. So I was a visual merchandiser for a couple of years, and then I started doing fashion styling. Yeah, that industry is just not for me. And then from there, I met the person that I then went into business with. So yeah, that's my journey.
Perfect. So after that, what did things look like for you when you left that business?
I'll be honest, it was such a dark time.
Okay.
I literally didn't know what I was going to do next. I left with nothing. I didn't know what I was going to do next. And I always say this, like, being obedient to God is so important. And I think in that season I was in, being obedient to what he was calling me to do is what then led to Àmi London. Àmi London was not on the radar at all. Like, it was not on the radar at all. But yeah.
So I'm sure you know the next question. So how did Àmi London come about?
Okay, so I had just had my daughter. During my pregnancy, I suffered with like hormonal imbalances, the pregnancy mask, and I kept going to my GP, but they couldn't prescribe anything because nothing on the high street was safe, blah, blah, blah. And so I then took it upon myself. Well, actually, no, I kind of left it. I kind of just dealt with the issue and just faced whatever insecurities I was feeling. And then after I had my daughter, I went to my GP and they prescribed steroids. Okay. And then I was using that on my face. But when I tell you, like, I could not recognize myself. My face was so sore, so burnt. Oh, wow. And I thought, this can't be it. But also, because I was nursing as well, I didn't feel comfortable using that, knowing that that could potentially also be passed on to my daughter. Yeah. But also she had eczema and she was also prescribed steroids. But seeing what it did for me, I was like, I'm not using this on my baby.
How old was she when they prescribed?
She was around 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That young?
She was very young.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then, so I started making my own concussion. And honestly, it did wonders. But even then, it wasn't a business idea. I was just doing it for myself. And I just recently become a single mum. And then a month before lockdown happened, I felt the Holy Spirit say to me, like, make some shea butters, what you're doing for yourself, make it for your community on social media, because I had a bit of a following, and partner with this charity, sell the body butters and raise the money to donate to this charity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I did for a while, because I'm a very introverted person. I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't want people to know that I'm, do you know what I mean? And then I thought, you know what, it's for a good cause. And the charity I partnered with basically help new families who don't have any support, and it helps them to buy like the basic necessities. So like nappies, baby food, you name it, just anything baby related. And it helps families provide for their babies. And yeah, I did it in the first week. I raised about, I want to say, over £1,000.
Oh, wow.
And I donated all the profits to the charity. And then people came back like, oh my gosh, I love it so much. Can I place another order? And I was like, oh, okay, this is a business idea. Yeah. And that's just kind of how, Àmi London was born.
Oh, perfect. So how did you find, so at that point you thought, okay, I'm going to make it into a proper business. And your daughter was still about 3-4 months?
Yeah, she would have been about 4 months. No, 5 months.
5 months, okay. So how did you, because that's similar to me with Kiya. So I launched Kiya when my daughter was about getting to 1. So quite similar ages. So how did you find starting a business and balancing having
It was so challenging. Oh my God, it was difficult. But one thing I'm grateful for is that in that season I moved back home and I was surrounded by a lot of family who were super hands-on. And I think without them, honestly, I don't know how I would have survived. I don't know. And it was just kind of like just putting my head down, knowing that God's got me because he gave me this vision. And so I have nothing to worry about. And so, I think God's community really is what got me through, because it was tough. Yeah. And like when the business started, lockdown literally had just started. So the orders were flying in. Like it was insane. It was a lot. But
it was good
at the
times.
same time, it was. No, it really was, because
that
now,
lockdown period.
No. Honestly, I can't complain. But I've lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
It's all right. But yeah.
So navigating that season, it was going well. You were super busy.
Yeah.
How have you found the journey growing the brand since then, since it started?
It's been interesting. I have had a lot of amazing opportunities to work with fantastic people. I did a pop-up in Selfridges last year.
I saw.
Which was incredible.
Yes.
I've done pop-ups in Tottenham Court Road, in Box Park. But it's definitely had its challenging times. I've had times where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Okay. And then God's just like come through. Because I also got the grant as well, the Glossier grant, the £10,000 grant from Glossier last year. And honestly, again, that moment, I was like, do I just close down this business? And then I got an email from someone from Glossier saying, would like for you to apply this year. Because I'd done it last year, but I didn't get the grant. But I was runner-up. So I thought, okay, do you know what? I'll just do it again, whatever. And then, and then I was one of the finalists. So again, I think it does have its challenging times.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a reminder to just keep putting God in the forefront for me anyway. That's how I that's how I deal with it.
Oh, I love it. No, it's so true and so timely as well.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed when you did the Selfridges pop-up is you made the most out of that. Like, people were there, they were like, yeah, we're doing this pop-up, etc. But you owned it. Like, you were like, yeah, we are here.
Yeah.
I remember you did the thing, was it the news?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that speaks to your character, where you will do everything at the highest standard. Have you always been like that?
I have. But the thing is, I've always been the behind the scenes person.
Okay.
So whatever you see, like, for example, the store, I was so hands-on with that. Like, literally the entire process, from the designing of the stores, because I also love interior design, by the way, if you may have seen on my Instagram. The buy-in, so literally all the brands, I bought all the brands, but I was always behind the scenes. And I feel like when I started the business, again, it was God saying, like, you need to really be at the forefront. You can't keep hiding behind. So yeah, I've lost my train of thought again. What was the question?
No, I'm just saying about your attention to detail.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always just had really good eye for detail. Yeah.
Okay. So with Àmi London now, is that your long-term goal to continue growing this brand, or are you thinking down the line you may want to start something else? What does that look like for you?
I mean, I do want to go, even though I'm a little bit scarred from the fashion industry, I do see myself going back into the fashion industry, whether that's like under Àmi London or completely separate entity. I'm not quite sure. Just let God lead. But yeah, I think I might be open to doing other things as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Would you say fashion is more your first real
I would
passion?
say, yeah. Skincare was never on the radar.
Okay.
But I do love skincare. But yeah, fashion has definitely been at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of fashion, so I have noticed on your personal brand Insta, you do these school run outfits, and every day since I started watching them, I'm getting ready to go on the school run, I put on my leggings, hoodie, and I'm like, no, you could do better than this. So what made that come about?
Do you know what? That's just, I feel like I've tried this content creation thing for so long now. And there were times when I'd play dress up just to film.
Okay.
And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm just going to be my completely natural, authentic self. And I'm going to post how I show up to her school. And literally that was it. That's literally what I did. And the first post got so many views. And I was like, okay, I think people like this.
Yes.
And I just continued. Like, I just post how I show up. Yeah.
No, I mean, for me, obviously I had 3 kids.
Yeah. Wow.
So my mornings are very hectic,
Chaos.
of course. Yes. So it's dropping the firstborn to secondary. Then I have to pull up to primary for the other 2. So long. Wow. So I really do not care.
Yeah.
But I was having a word with myself actually at the end of last year, and I was like, you have to teach your kids how to show up in the world. Yeah. And that starts from in the morning on the school run. Yes. They're paying attention. Right. Like this morning, for example, my daughter was like, oh, are you going for another podcast recording today? I was like, why? She's like, because you're wearing makeup. I was like, yeah, I am. Because I don't typically wear makeup every day, which is fine. That works for me. Yeah. But I think it is really good and important to highlight that we should pay more attention to how we show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the teachers are paying attention as well.
Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely. I honestly 100% believe that it's important to show up looking your best, and that's how people judge you. I know it's unfair, but sometimes like that's just the reality. Yeah. People judge you based on how you show up. Yeah. And so I always make it a thing to show up looking my best self. And that's not necessarily putting on a full face of makeup, but just looking well put together, or looking presentable rather. I think that's the better choice of words. Yeah. And, just make sure you brush your teeth and combed your hair.
Definitely. Please and thank you.
But yeah. That's what I believe.
I know this is, okay, we'll get back into the skincare side, but what would you say are your tips for busy mums who want to look put together every day, but struggle with that.
Yeah.
What would be your top tips for those?
I would say preparation is key. I mean, I don't prepare, to be honest, but what does help me is that I buy things that I like, things that looks good, and things that are easy to put on in the morning where I'm not having to like think too much about it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what works. And then things like my wig, because it's a wig, prepping it the night before and just making sure that it's not taking much of my time in the morning. But yeah, that's just kind of what works for me.
Yeah. Do you apply it every single day, or do you glue it down?
Well,
this is just, I'm just curious.
This is glued down, but when I don't glue it down, I've got several hats that I'll just throw on.
Okay, sure.
To, hide.
I was just wondering.
But not every day, no.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting, because I can't remember what thread. I read a lot of threads on either Facebook, showing my age, or Twitter, X, whatever. And it was talking about the fact that a lot of women don't like to wear their good clothes every single day. It's like you save your outfits. So what do you think about?
I wear my clothes every single day. Listen, when you come to my house, I'm wearing the clothes that I would obviously not go out to party with, but that I would wear to the corner shop or wear to dinner with my lunch with my girls. Like I don't save. Listen, life is too short. Wear your clothes.
Yes. I think that since lockdown, it's funny because prior to lockdown, I didn't have any athleisure, leggings, none of that stuff. Now, I'm like tearing myself away from my leggings. I'm like, no. Jeans just feel so, restrictive. Yeah. What's your go-to?
My go-to are these baggy jeans I bought from Primark last year.
Okay.
A basic top and a statement coat. That's always, and maybe a hat, depending on what my hair looks like. I might throw on a hat, but yeah.
How many coats do you own?
God, I've lost count. But it's not more than 10.
She said 10.
Is that a lot?
I mean, I have 3. I have black, grey, and like a little fur. Well, it's also black. But
yeah. Okay.
No. She said I could never.
No, but I need to take a step back. Like, it's enough.
No, it's good.
It's enough coats now.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so where do you see your passion for fashion going in the future? Would you like to start your own line? Do you design at all?
So I have in the past. So when I ran the store, I did have a capsule collection.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I had a few pieces that I was selling, and it was always crazy because when customers like came in and actually bought it, you know, it was nice to know that they liked my designs.
Yeah.
But I don't know, honestly, being a designer is ghetto. Like, honestly, it's really hard. But I can't tell you. I don't know what the future holds for fashion.
What makes it so challenging?
I think it's just like the process of having to work with the pattern makers and the factory and them getting it wrong.
Yeah.
The sample coming out great, but then what they produce not meeting up to the standard that you expected. Customs. There's just so much involved in manufacturing, especially if it's outside of the UK. Yeah. It's a bit harder to kind of make sure that everything is going according to plan.
Where are the suppliers based that you've worked with in the past?
India, and the guy who owned a factory in India, but also had one in China as well. But we worked with a factory in India and also South Korea as well.
Have you been there yourself? Or
I haven't been to India. I've been to South Korea a couple times.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that. What was that like?
It's amazing. Honestly, the culture, the people, the food. I'm obsessed with Korean food. Okay. The fashion, because I was there. We had a production company there, but also I did some buying there as well. Okay. Korean brands. But yeah, no, honestly, you need to visit. It's about 12 hours, but it's worth the journey. Yeah. Okay, perfect. No, I love it. It's so interesting. So how have you navigated running Àmi London, I guess of the latter years, and balanced that with motherhood? I'll be honest, it's definitely, and I think she's at an age now where it's like I'm required to be a bit more hands-on.
Mm-hmm. How old is she now?
She's 5.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm required to be a bit more hands-on. So I try not to beat myself up if I'm not showing up as much within the business. I've now got someone, I've got someone who works, who runs my social media. So I think, yeah, that's definitely taking a load off my plate. Because prior to that, I was literally doing everything: content creation, accountants, social media manager, reaching out to influencers. It was insane, and I'm sure you understand.
Yeah,
what that feels like.
It's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, now I just, I take a seat back and I decide what's more important. And then I show up for whatever I feel at the time is more important. Because the business is also important. It's how I put food on the table for my daughter. So it's just about finding that balance and also reaching out to my community in times when I feel like, okay, this is getting a bit too overwhelming. I need a bit of support. And then taking time out for myself as well, and just being like, okay, the business can wait. My daughter can be with people that are trusted. Let me go and take time to get a massage or go out with my friends. Yeah. So it's just really finding that balance, because I've been burnt out and I know what it means to be burnt out, and I don't ever want to be there again. So yeah. Talk
me through that. What did that period look like when you were burnt out?
I just felt drained. I felt like there was the passion was dying out. I didn't feel motivated. I literally, like, my parents were so scared. Like, I was shaking in bed.
Oh, wow.
I literally had to sleep for the entire day.
When was this?
This was probably about 3 years ago now. Because it was literally go, 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 go nonstop. And so I think in that moment, I was like, your life is not worth, this business is not worth losing your life for it. So like, literally take a step back if you need it. Yeah.
I know it was super hectic and everything, but what do you think caused you to get to that point? Was it not knowing when to take a break? Not having the right support in terms of within the business, or just personal, mixing the personal with the business as well?
I think it's just not knowing when to stop. Not knowing when to stop. And again, just the pressure of, like, I built my own website, still having to, my daughter was under 1 at the time, so she was very demanding.
Yeah.
It was obviously her and I a lot. And so that bond was like, she just wanted to be with me consistently. And then, I'll put her on my back, whipping the shea butter in the kitchen.
Yes, yeah.
Like, it was just a lot. It was a lot. And then waking up just to make sure that I'm creating content for the week. Yeah.
I hear you. But you got through it.
I got through it.
And you're here
and
now.
I'm still getting through it. Yeah, I'm here. So
lessons were learned.
Yeah. Lessons, very almost expensive lessons. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what do you do now? I know you mentioned massages, spending time, brunch with the girls. What kinds of, are they the only things that you do to practice wellness outside of, when you're taking time for yourself?
No, it's even things like getting my nails done, like deciding, okay, I want to go and get my nails done. What else? I love food. Okay. I love trying out new restaurants. So discovering new restaurants. I don't like to travel into London as much anymore. Okay. But when I do, it's like going to the museum or art galleries. What else do I like to do?
Such a fashion babe. I'm just going to get dressed up and go and walk around the gallery and be inspired.
Me and my girls, me and a friend of mine used to do that. We'll drop the kids at school and then just go into London just to, eat and look at art.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the things that I do.
Okay.
Definitely.
I was going to ask a question and it's left me. How would you, so someone else in your position, running a business full time, has a child or children, how would you advise them to maintain some sort of balance to avoid being burnt out?
I think definitely listening to your body, knowing when to seek help. I think also community is important in terms of looking for other business owners that you can lean on for support as well. And I don't feel like that happens enough, if I'm being honest. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
no, I feel the same.
Yeah.
I think it looks different here than what we see in the US.
Yes.
It's like everyone's supporting and meeting up and they all know each other. Here it's like,
do your own thing, I'll do my own. Yeah, we need to do better.
Yeah.
We do, including myself, by the way. But taking a step back and just literally doing the things that makes you happy outside of running a business and being a mum, because you are an individual first. And it's just remembering that as well.
Yeah.
And just finding a hobby that, like, when I'm into art. I love art. I draw as well.
So you're a real creative.
I'm a creative all around. Yeah. So yeah, just like I would always just like sketch something or spend time. I mean, when I was younger, before my parents said I couldn't do art as well. But it was my therapy, and that just literally brought me so much peace and calm. And I think, as a business owner, you need something like that. Yeah. Definitely.
So do you still sketch?
I don't, but I want to go back into it. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I don't have the time. But also, I think I've got OCD, so I'm just always scared of like paint going all around in my flat. But yeah, I will definitely at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned interior design. Was that also a passion for you, I guess, around the same time when you was exploring the fashion, or has that developed more recently?
No, it hasn't. Well, it's kind of when I got my flat, I kind of designed it to my taste. But it's always just been there. So like, it's always been a part of, not outside. It's not necessarily outside of fashion, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when opportunities arise, I help people like style their homes, the stores that I designed. But yeah, again, it might be something that I might actually decide to go into.
Okay.
Who knows? We'll see.
She's really smiling. So she's really thinking about that one. No, I love it. So outside of Àmi London, with your own personal brand, how have you navigated building your own personal brand online?
Do you know what? I think because I've always kind of had a personal brand, I haven't really thought, that's a really good question. I've just kind of continued with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So how did it start initially for you?
How did it start? From university, I used to blog.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've always kind of done like blogging and stuff. And then Instagram came about. I was just posting my content on there. My following grew to about 10K. Then I got hacked. Then I just thought, you know, I'm not doing this. Then I took a break and then I started, and then I opened the store. And then content creation took a step back because it was just too much.
What would you create content about in the earlier days?
Oh, fashion.
Okay.
Like thrifting, charity shops, bargains, outfit of the days. Kind of what I do now.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And what is your plan with that side of things?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't really know. At the moment, I just post what I wear, and I hope it inspires people as well.
Yeah. Do you have like a set strategy for what you post, or is it just how you feel in the moment?
It's just how I feel in the moment. There's literally no strategy.
Yeah.
And maybe I need what do you call it? Is it a manager? What do you call people who manage?
Yeah, like
creators?
social media.
Yeah,
manager,
maybe I need one of them to help. But right now I just post. I don't really have a strategy.
Yeah,
that's what I want to post.
No, it's good.
I feel like if I overthink it, then I might scare myself. So I just don't.
I feel like you think similarly to me. So prior to starting Kiya, I was on YouTube. I was documenting my relaxed hair journey, natural hair journey. I had like family vlogs for a period of time. And then I was like, okay, let me just post little things on Instagram. Once I started Kiya, I was like, I don't have time for YouTube. I don't have time for this. So my personal brand was just like whatever I felt like posting about Kiya, I would put up there, but it was non-existent. So I've been really intentional. I'm like, okay, this year I'm going to show up on my page and document things, but it's difficult because I don't think that far ahead to say, okay, I'm going to do this and speak about this. Is just whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like
and
in the
moment.
moment.
Sometimes that's not a bad thing. Like just let it flow naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe we're doing this strategy.
We'll talk after about what could be the strategy? Okay, so to bring it back to Àmi London, what has it been like navigating that business, and what's the customer feedback been for your products?
The feedback has been, especially when I do pop-ups, you're
Mhm.
able to kind of have conversations with customers and just kind of see their reaction.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's been nothing but amazing feedback.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like when people touch the WIT share button, it's like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
is insane. We did recently, last year, we now work with a UK-based manufacturer who actually manufacture our body balms. They're no longer WITs, they're now balms. And I think for my reoccurring customers, it's been a bit of a shift for them because they're so used to a particular product. I mean, they love it. It's just not that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, the feedback's been amazing. It's better quality now.
Okay.
It's a lot more moisturizing. So yeah, to answer your question, what was your question again? Oh my God.
Just your journey navigating. It's fine. You answered it. You did answer.
Okay.
So do you see yourself expanding the line at all, or is what you've got sort of manageable?
I do want to expand the line. I want to come out with 1 or 2 more skincare products.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of, but I think with skincare, you kind of have to keep bringing new things out just to keep your reoccurring like customers, to give them something new.
Yeah. And that's a difficult thing for me.
It is difficult. Yeah. Because how are you supposed to, I mean, it's expensive running a business, talk less of a skincare business.
Yeah.
How do you then consistently have the funds to keep coming up with these new products, like testings and all these things that you have to do to make sure it's safe?
That's definitely an issue I face. And then it's like you bring something out. Okay, I bought out 2 body washes, strawberry, vanilla. People don't really like the vanilla. They prefer the strawberry, but a few do buy the vanilla. So I get rid of the vanilla. Where's the vanilla? That's the one I like. It's just
right. Honestly, you can't please. You can't please. I've had customers say, "When are you going to come up with a range for soaps and this and that?" And I'm like, no, no, I'm not doing that, because if I do end up investing money into making soaps, and you don't buy it, and do you know what I mean? So yeah, you can't please everyone. Honestly, you can't please everyone.
What's been your biggest challenge running Àmi London?
I would say scaling. Scaling has been, and funding has definitely been my biggest challenge. I think, considering I started off with £70, started the business with £70 that my sister lent to me, gave to me. I feel like when you're trying to, and obviously that's helped the business grow to a certain level. But I think when you're trying to be a bit more innovative and you're trying to create a product that actually is effective and has the right ingredients, you need the funds.
Yeah.
And we just don't have that right now.
Yeah, it's really, really... I went to an event yesterday. It was about, it was for Black founders, talking about funding. And it's just, we're all saying the same thing. It's like, how do you get funding?
Yeah.
It's so difficult right now.
It's really difficult. It's really, really difficult. And I think, to be honest, I feel like, especially in, for Black people, it's even harder to get. Females, it's even much harder. And so I am grateful for the grant that I got from Glossier. But then when I think about how much I had to pay for testings and production and sampling, that was like 60% of the money went towards that. Yeah. Talk less of like marketing and PR and all the other things you have to pay for. So yeah.
What would you advise someone starting a skincare line in 2025?
Don't do it. I'm joking.
She's joking, but she's serious, but she's joking.
No, I think, so I work for another brand actually, it's called Skin Choice, and they are doing really, really well, bootstrapped, but he still works his 9 to 5. So I think that's been able to fund the business to a level where now it's generating, good enough money. And so I think, just obviously having a strategy in place, understanding your whys, like what is this product solving? That's important. People want to buy things that works for them, and they want to see results. So just understanding your whys, and just honestly just keep going. Just perseverance, really.
Mm.
And yeah, those are the three.
So you run Àmi London full time.
Yeah.
How have you been able to sustain it to the point where it's like you can at least run it full time? It's paying you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, like I said, I work for another brand as well. It's a skincare brand called Skin Choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you did that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I still work.
Yeah.
Work
what do you do with them?
So I do their formulations.
Oh, okay.
I was running their social media for a few years, but now I'm more like hands-on with the product development.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that. So what are your plans for 2025 across the board?
Across the board, my personal brand, I definitely want to do a lot more collabs with brands. Yeah. So grow that in the aspect of just collaborating with a lot more brands, and for the business, getting us into retail stores.
Okay.
So like the luxury stores, also partnering with smaller independent stores as well. And also seeing if I can get my stuff into like hotels and and salons, hair salons, nail salons, and places like that. So yeah, that's the goal for 2025.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Changing gears slightly, what does self-care mean to you?
What does self-care mean to me? Self-care to me means just looking after my well-being, my mental health, my body, both externally and internally as well. And just doing the things that makes you feel excited and happy, that helps you radiate like joy. Yeah, that's what self-care means to me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do the things that make you radiate joy.
Joy, yeah. Yeah.
What brings you joy?
What brings me joy? My daughter brings me joy. The feedback that I receive from customers brings me joy, and my relationship with God brings me joy. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. You've had a really stressful day. Things have not quite gone to plan. You get home. What are you doing to relax?
I am. Oh God, what am I doing to relax? I'm thinking about it. My daughter probably will be on my neck, so I don't know if I can relax. But
daughter's with your parents?
Oh, with my parents. Okay, fine. A glass of red wine. Probably. Gosh, I don't even watch TV. Probably pick up my phone and just rant to someone about how stressful my day was. Just let it all, like just get it out my chest.
So you're okay. I'm like that. I like to talk it out.
Yeah.
My husband's like, "Oh my gosh, are you gonna tell this person?" And I was like, "Yeah, but once it's all out,
then you're like, okay,
fine.
I'm fine." Yeah, honestly, I was gonna say put the TV on, but I don't really watch TV, so yeah, I might read a book. But yeah.
What kind of book?
At the moment, I'm into a lot of self-help books at the moment. Do
you have a favorite you'd like to recommend?
The Millionaire's Mindset.
Okay,
that's a really good book. I've just started it, but really amazing reviews in the first few chapters. It's just kind of helped me, rewire my mindset. Yeah.
Are you a physical, Kindle, or audio book?
Physical, all the way. I was the girl in school with a diary. Even till now, I prefer diaries to like notes on my phone. Yeah,
I like putting pen to paper. I feel like things properly leave my brain when I
and then just like ticking off, knowing that you it just brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
It's the little things.
That. Yeah. Perfect. So a glass of wine, a book.
Yeah.
After a rant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It's been so good speaking with you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
What is one last key takeaway you'd like to leave with the audience? It can be anything, your mantra for life or your mantra for 2025.
Okay. It would be feel the fear, but do it anyway.
Okay.
That's my mantra.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. feel the fear, but do it anyway.
I love that. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode with Dami. She's given us gems. She's given us insight into fashion, interior design, skincare, entrepreneurship, and motherhood. It's been really fully loaded. Love it. Love that for us. Can you let everyone know where they can find you online?
Yeah, so you can find me, my personal Instagram, by dami.a. My business page, Àmi London, all across platforms.
Yeah, perfect. We'll have everything linked below. Thank you again for coming down. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment your favorite bit. We'd love to keep the conversation going there. And be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss an episode of Kiya Convos. We upload every single Sunday, so be sure to come back next week for next week's episode. Until then, take care, stay blessed, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
You are powerful.
Yay, that is good.